So, you're thinking about visiting the beautiful Hawaiian island of Maui, but you're not exactly sure what you want to do and see. What's going on, my dudes? I hope you guys are all doing well. Today I want to take you through my top 5 favorite places in Maui. I know that planning an itinerary can be really stressful. You don't want to miss out on any of those hidden gems, so that's why I've put this video together. Number 1, the Venus Pool, also known as the Waioka Pond. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. The Venus Pool is located right along the road to Hana, and there's no doubt in my mind that if you're visiting Maui, you're going to be driving the road to Hana at some point. Having visited a couple different ocean pools in Maui, the Venus Pool was definitely my favorite. The Venus Pool itself is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, check out that water, that color's insane. The pool is in a small cove that is filled by the ocean, but what's cool is that the waves don't make their way into the pool, at least not at full force, so the pool itself is relatively calm and perfect for swimming. When you're in the pool itself, it feels like you're at the edge of the jungle. Everywhere you look is surrounded by green luscious trees and smooth rock cliffs. The Venus Pool is most definitely one of those places that you could crush a couple hours at. Spot number 2, the PPY Trail, home to Waimoku Falls. The PPY Trail is another one of those spots that's along the road to Hana, and it's located in the Haleakala National Park. Again, because you're going to be at the road to Hana at some point, this is a no-brainer. You've got to check it out. The PPY Trail is a 4-mile round-trip hike, and I do think that most people should be able to do it. The trails are well maintained, and there's not that much incline, so long as you take your time, you should have no issues. To me, what makes for a really good hike is variety, and the PPY Trail does not disappoint in this department. From the base, the trail slowly takes you up into the mountains, passing waterfalls and swimming holes before you eventually make it to the bamboo forest. Now, this part of the hike blew my mind. I thought that this was so cool. The bamboo forest on this hike is large, and the trail runs right through the middle of it. Not only did this make for some cool pictures, but as you're walking, if you just stop and listen, you can actually hear the bamboo creaking. Leaving the bamboo forest, you continue walking on these wooden pathways which eventually lead you to a massive opening, giving you an epic view of the 300-foot Waimoku waterfall. Like I said, this hike does not disappoint on the variety front. The family and I made our way to the base of the waterfall where we hung out for a bit. I'm going to preface this a bit because all of the boulders on the ground clearly came from somewhere, and that would probably be up above, so as you're walking down there, be very careful. I cannot recommend this hike enough. The PPY Trail is unbelievable. Next up on the list, we're going to be visiting Mount Haleakala for sunrise. The PPY Trail was in Haleakala National Park, but now we're going to be visiting the dormant volcano that gave Haleakala National Park its name. Mount Haleakala sits 10,000 feet above sea level and is visible from most spots on the island. While we were visiting Maui, we were told by most people that we needed to visit Mount Haleakala for sunrise, and for good reason. Now, I consider myself a morning person, but only to a point. I'm not sure how I quite feel about waking up anything before 5 a.m. That being said, the family and I made an exception for this day, and we hopped in the car and drove up to Mount Haleakala. I set my camera up outside for a time lapse and quickly ran into the small hut on top of Mount Haleakala because it's cold. The sunrise that you're going to see from atop Mount Haleakala is out of this world. You get to sit above the clouds and watch them dance in and out of the valleys while the sun peeks over the horizon and lights up the entire landscape bright orange. Need I say more? It was definitely worth the early morning wake up. Number 4, the Waihee Ridge Trail. The Waihee Ridge is another really amazing hike that we did, and one that I recommend you do as well. However, it is slightly more difficult, actually a fair bit more difficult than the PPY Trail. This trail follows the dramatic Waihee Ridge line 1,500 feet up Maui's mountains, giving you an amazing view from the top. Now that 1,500 feet gives you a great view, but it has to come from somewhere, meaning there is a lot of uphill in this hike. The hike is nothing super difficult, you should be able to do it, but just be aware that it's not a walk in the park either. This hike is regarded as one of the most scenic on the island of Maui, and for really good reason. As you hike up that dramatic ridge line, you eventually overtake the clouds, so you see them flow in and out of the valleys, and you get a good view of the valley on both sides of the ridge. Not to mention, you also get a sick view of the surrounding mountains and the rest of the island. I thought the entire hike was cool, but getting to walk along that ridge line was something special. That was definitely my favorite part. If you're up for a sweet afternoon hike, I can't recommend it enough. Make sure to check out the Waihee Ridge Trail. Before I jump onto the final place on this list, I want to tell you guys a bit about today's video sponsor, and that's Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of different classes that cover a variety of different creative subjects. They're constantly launching new premium classes so that you can continue to grow in whichever creative field that you choose. For example, if you're thinking about going to Maui, you're going to want to make sure that you can take some beautiful pictures while you're there because you don't want to forget this trip. For something like that, you could head on over to Skillshare and take Amy Vitale's documentary photography class, which covers capturing both places and people. An annual Skillshare membership costs less than $10 a month, and for the value that you can get from their courses, that's a great deal. The first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare's premium membership. Check it out. Last but not least, I'd be remiss if I did not include one of Maui's beautiful beaches on this list, so that's going to be Secret Beach, also known as Paco Cove. Now, choosing Secret Beach to be on this list was not as easy as you may think. We visited tons of beaches while we were on the island of Maui, and they were all beautiful. However, this one wasn't that crowded, maybe that's why it's called Secret Beach, and it was a really cool spot. The beach itself has beautiful, clean sand that rolls right into the ocean, and it's surrounded by these volcanic rocks. I don't know how much more I can add to this to really sell you on the idea of visiting Secret Beach, but the beach itself is clean, the water is clear, we saw a turtle, and it's a cool place to hang out. There it is, dudes. Those are my top 5 places to visit in Maui. Thank you guys so much for watching, and again, if you want to see my full Maui travel itinerary, you can click the link up there. Aside from that, I appreciate every single one of you so much, and I'll see you all in another one.